रिकॉर्ड भी मैं इसको कर दे रहा हूँ. So, good afternoon to you all, Mr. C S Gupta, and now it is getting recorded. I'll transfer host to you. I think one Rupesh Rai has come already. So, welcome to Rupesh. And now I'm transferring host to you, make host. Right.
रिव्यू में तो मैंने अप्लाई किया, अभी तक कुछ आया नहीं इसका.
क्या?
मैंने किसी कंसल्टेंट के थ्रू था, फिर लिंक्डइन के थ्रू था, फिर उसके इस कंपनी साइट पे जाके अपना वो किया.
ओके, चलिए कोई नहीं. अभी नाउ मिस्टर SK गुप्ता इज ऑलरेडी हियर. आई हैव ट्रांसफर द होस्ट टू हिम. आप नया गेस्ट को इनवाइट एंट्री कर दीजिए.
Yeah, I have done that.
Okay. So see you. Continue
Okay,
with it.
see you.
And see you at 3:30. Please try to control by
dot.
3:30.
By dot. So all my sessions will be over by dot. You know that.
Because 4 o'clock again we have to have a session. So thank you very much. Please continue.
Thank you. So good afternoon, Rupesh ji. Good afternoon, Meena ji.
Good afternoon, sir.
How has been the last week for you? In fact, कैसा रहा आप लोगों का last हफ्ता, sir? How was your last week, Meena ji and Rupesh ji? Anything new happening other than the Bihar elections and the results awaited, and the US elections and the result awaited? I mean, that's the happening thing right now all around the globe. Yes, ma'am. Unable to hear you. Am I audible? Am I audible, Meena ji and Rupesh ji?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Anupa ji, thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon. Very good afternoon. Okay, so I am still seeing people are joining in. Abhishek ji, everybody is joining in. So
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
very good afternoon, Abhishek ji. Very good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Absolutely great, Abhishek ji. And how about you?
Good, sir. Good. All well.
That's something very, very important, and that's exactly what I was looking forward for. So, and that's probably one of the first practical tips I wanted to give it to the people who have joined little early today in this class. In training methodology, this early hour, I believe, is something very, very useful. So I believe it's a good time to basically connect with people all around, whoever is there. So,
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Arnab here.
very good afternoon, Abhi. Very good afternoon. And how's the city where you are? In fact, today I didn't see any sun today. So how's sun at your place?
Weather is cool. Sun is not that much there, but then the weather is good.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I know today, for all of a sudden, I believe I didn't see any sun today because I generally prefer to take vitamin D in the morning.
Winters.
I know, I know. And
Pleasures of winter.
absolutely, pleasures of winter is definitely there, and that's what will happen. So, how about others? I believe. How about other Rupesh ji, Anupma, Meena ji? How have things been? In fact, in this today or last week?
So things have been okay. It's just that a lot of classes, we're having, and we're really occupied. Also, the weather is not really, I mean, winter is not my season. So
Oh, okay. So not well,
yeah,
and keeping well.
staying in my room is the only thing that I can do. Yeah.
But Ali, other than that, I believe, are you not well or
No,
weather is
no,
not?
completely fine, completely fine.
I know. So I believe the classes is part of fun. One should
Yeah,
take the
that's
classes.
exactly that's something that engages me and like all of us. But other than that, like going outside and it's just very freezing, and I'm not really into winters at all. So
I honestly, I am a person who, specifically people who are trainers, they like
yeah.
traveling. In fact, so in the last 15, 20 days, my travel have started back again.
Oh,
So somebody was
how
asking me.
is okay? So how is that? Like, how are you feeling about that?
Absolutely, and that's something which is what I thought I'll share it with everybody, uh, uh, because what is happening is uh, people have started moving now. I mean, in the last at least October onwards, see the manufacturing industry started in May. If you
Yeah,
ask me, March, April, May, they were closed, but June, I believe, for everybody more or less started off.
essential services actually, like packaging. My mom is in packaging in the industry, and there has been no lockdown at all.
Correct. Essential services, everything was running
Yeah,
even in a March, April, May also.
yeah,
So there were, if you are part of essential services, you didn't have a leave at all.
exactly.
So you can't even stay
Nothing
at home.
changed.
Nothing changed for them. No,
Yeah.
things did change. Things did change, but the change was they had to take a pass. I remember I had to take a pass to move around, and I
Yes.
was moving around in that point. So I believe you have to take passes, and if you are crossing two states, if you are
Exactly.
crossing between UP
Yes.
and Delhi, you have to take a pass from Delhi as well as from UP. So I believe there were
Yes.
changes for people, even for essential services. I could see medical supplies, people putting a sticker on their car. I believe
Yes,
this
sir,
is what
yes, sir.
exactly is
Yeah.
what you have to put, in fact, to carry it all across one
I mean,
place
there
to
has to
another.
be a reason, like a very important reason for you to travel, at
Absolutely.
this
At
time.
that point, I believe this is what I'm talking about: March, April, May. June onwards, the unlock one,
Yes.
when it started off, manufacturing industry was the first one to start with 33% people. And I believe because they were the biggest sufferers. 3 months, कहना चाहिए
Yeah.
रोटी कपड़ा मकान में तीनों अफेक्ट हो गया. रोटी आनी बंद हो गई, लेबर जो काम कर रहा था वो घर जाने लग गया, and जो I believe मतलब no business, no production supply, no money coming. The whole supply of economics got stopped. So
Yeah, also
they,
because of the
Actually,
migration,
demand was
like
not
people
there.
who migrated, contractual workers and everybody. It's been
absolutely.
really
So
hard.
that happened.
But
Yeah,
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 Rupesh
but
ji.
the main reason was demand was not there. Demand was not there
true.
actually during
So,
that time. Actually.
so I believe that is
So it
absolutely
was,
fine. But what I was
yeah,
trying to share is they started from June. Manufacturing started from
yeah,
June.
definitely.
And
Yes.
off late, from October onwards, when unlock, the stage of unlock going on extended till 31st November, 30th November, in fact. So what is happening now is I could see people all around. So I was talking to, what I was sharing is, in fact, all the three modes of transport I tried. I have tried train,
Yes.
I have tried driving my car and then moving around. And the third thing I've tried is a flight also. So in the last 15, 20
Yeah.
days, I've seen people. The flight was booked fully. The flight was booked fully.
Yeah.
And I believe
Yes.
you'll be very surprised to know the person in the middle seat has to wear a complete
Yeah,
white gown. So complete white gown, and they will give you a protection shield and a mask and a sanitizer and
yeah.
everything. So the world has started moving around, as I see, and the world has started moving around. Even the spread has also increased. That's what I understand.
Right. Sir. But in manufacturing sector, especially in October, it's the biggest growth. What I mean, I've seen in newspaper.
Yeah.
So now things are moving fast, actually.
Correct. And that's exactly what I was sharing. In fact, the world has started moving again.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
specifically to bring back the economy, this is very much required also. Okay,
yes.
so I believe, let me get going, friends. I believe I can see. So I would request, just if you are able to listen to me, just type I inside the chat box. अगर मेरी आवाज आप तक पहुंच रही है, type I in the chat box, just to ensure that you and me are connected and you can hear me out, and we are ready to start. If you are there and you are able to listen to me, just type I in the chat box. Okay. I see people responding, and I believe that's good. But I am just still waiting for I or anything which you can do in the participant box. Neha ji, I can see your hand in the participant box. That's good. What about others? I believe that's important that we are all connected. So I can see four of you have responded. Rupesh ji, Abhishek, thanks. Neha ji, thanks. Sudeep, thank you. How about others? I believe if you are there, just go ahead and respond back by typing I, so that at least I know that you are with me. Okay, Arnab also is there. Very good. Thank you. I still see Shalu. I believe we are missing you. Who else is we are missing, in fact? So very good. I'm seeing some of you just going ahead and responding back. Okay, so let me just ask a quick question. So I believe everybody was. I believe we are not meeting now for the first time, as I could see from the list. So I can see from the list, most of you have been last two sessions which have happened last week when we met on Sunday, or the first week of October when we met. So this is the third session, and I believe you can find your name out here. So if your name is not here, just let me know. In the last two sessions, if your name was not there, just let me know. You can unmute yourself, type in the chat box. Either way around, it's fine. You can unmute yourself. You can open your video, whatever you want. I believe just let me know, because I was just trying to figure out. I believe I have been capturing everybody right now. So if you are not there, let me know in this list.
Sir, my name is not there, Meena Karmakar.
Meena, I see here. Motivator, did you say motivator?
It is right. It's the 25th. Okay.
Absolutely. So you are a motivator. That's what I understand. Very good. And if I ask you what?
So,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you. This
Yeah.
is Neha. I
Yes,
think
Neha.
I have joined you for the first time.
Oh, very good. So then you give an adjective to yourself with the first letter of your name, N. So you will see everybody whose name is here has given an adjective to his or her name describing yourself. I believe if you want to do that right now, you can do that right now, or you can do that in the
Optimistic.
chat box. Sorry?
Optimistic.
But you have to, it has to start with N because your name starts with N.
Okay. N. It has to be with N.
Yeah, that's what you can see everybody here. That's what people have responded to. So
Okay.
if you can take some time, yeah, that's not an issue. You can take some
Yes, I
time.
will. Yes, I'll think of something good.
But before the class ends, you should coin something for yourself.
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. So we'll wait for Neha's thing. I'll just anyway go ahead and type it while we'll wait for something from her. Okay. Who else I can see? Anybody's name who's not here, probably you can let me know. I can see most of you have actually.
Rakesh Kumar.
Rakesh, your name is not here on that. So again, you have to.
I just joined.
But I believe last two class, were you there in the last two previous session of mine? I believe you were there. Your name
No,
would be here.
I am first timer.
Okay, then you have to also coin an adjective to yourself, for yourself, starting with your first letter of your name, which is R. So just coin something with the first letter of yours, and then if you want to do it right now, it's fine. But if you want to take some time, that is also fine. So we'll wait for, you can put it in the chat box whenever you are ready. That's fine.
Okay.
So the idea, friends, I believe with the small activity which we have been carrying in the last two sessions and today also, is to identify yourself, and you can use anything as a icebreaker in the training methodology, the paper 3. And as we all as a consensus had decided, all the participants, since like whatever the number of participants you are seeing here, more than 35, 30 plus, because they are repeat also inside in some categories. So everybody unanimously, consensus-wise decided that we should at least mix around 40 to 60% practical and around 30 to 40% theoretical, because you have to clear some exam also. And some assignments also have started, must be coming in. So just wanted to figure out if just in the chat box, if you can, some of you can confirm if you are able to, now you are able to get your assignments online or something like that. Has that started? Can somebody just confirm it? I believe, are the online assignments for you have started for you?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
We've been given the date and the last date to submit. So.
Oh, wonderful. And I believe I was expecting that, because now we are in the third class, and I believe now things will start happening and things will start moving, in fact, a little faster. And that's why we are meeting every Sunday right now. And if you remember, how many of you remember I gave an assignment last time? I gave a small assignment last time, and that was on the training methodology, whatever we have discussed. Anybody can recollect what did we discuss last time? If anybody can recollect from a training methodology, what are the training methods, what we talked about in the last class? Anything to refresh? I'll be just to help you. I have given you the classification, what we talked about. There are 5 different kinds of classification, and on the job, simulation, knowledge-based, skill-based, experiential. And that's what we had discussed. And to give you again and unfold that, the methods, all the methods which are being covered, and I'm quite sure all of you are experienced people, may have tried this somewhere in your role as a trainer or as a professional of different roles, because there are different roles which people are here as salespeople and so on and so forth, or HR, or you can be a functional head or whatever the role in any industry. It could be in any industry. So I believe these are the classifications which we talked about in the last class and the methods. So does anybody remember the small assignment which I had given? And probably if you want to talk for a minute or probably a 2 to basically discuss about that training assignment. Anybody remembers that? Okay, I can see. Wonderful. Neha has started putting herself, in fact, natural Neha. Wonderful. That's absolutely fine, because being natural as a trainer is something, a good quality to have. And I believe it will keep your preparation and your connect with the audience very well. So that's a nice way to connect, Neha. In fact,
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
And I'll put that because you have mentioned that. So I'll put that. Okay, where is that? Okay. So relax, Rakesh. Eh? Okay. So Rakesh wants to call himself as relax, Rakesh. So natural, Neha, and we have relax, Rakesh. So he is always relax. Okay, I'm putting that as you are saying, Rakesh. But that's a new one for me. So if you are very relaxed, that's really good. Okay.
Sir, actually, I do meditation, so I would have written calm, but calm is not with R, so I have put relax.
That's absolutely fine, Rakesh. That's absolutely fine. Because if you are relaxed in a trading session, with your connect with your audience would be better. And I feel the natural way of connecting with the people on any of these classifications, it could be knowledge based, it could be skill based, it could be experiential. I feel you'll be able to do much better. So I believe that's absolutely fine. And that's what I believe we are talking about. So that's a quality which anybody can possess. And it's good if you are doing yoga meditation, because there are training of yoga also these days. So you can be a yoga training, and I believe relaxation has to be very, very important.
Actually, sir, I have written a paper on this Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga, how to use for better learning, and I have related it to that flow strategy of that Mihaly. The Joan the Flow. There is a paper by Mihaly of Chicago University. I proved in my paper that he has copied this Yoga Darshan.
Oh, okay.
He has written a one line. He has written that some Eastern practices. So I proved that he is, and similarly Howard has developed that mindfulness, which is nothing else but Mahesh Yogi's that Bhavatit Dhyan.
So I believe, my dear friend, while it's a very intense topic, because you are already an expert, I also love that field, and I am myself a yoga practitioner, in fact. So I can visualize what you're saying. Our heritage as India is very, very rich. And coming out from ISTD, Indian Society for Training and Development, I believe that's a rich wealth which we have created, and culturally we are very rich. Historically, we are rich in any of these signs, which could be Vedic or yogic sign. So very, very true, I believe, what you're saying, Rakesh ji, in fact, and I believe probably on some other time, probably we can dwell and debate on or discuss on this, in fact.
Welcome, sir.
Okay, so I believe Meena ji has already very well remembered that. Thanks, Meena ji, for remembering that design a blended learning training program, which could be designed by us, in fact. And what I had given as an assignment was that your organization, wherever you are, whichever part of the organization, you can talk about it. And what are the kind of target participants you are targeting? You can pick up some segment of your organization. Duration of the program or the module, whatever you want to cover, you can talk about that. And then you can talk about the learning hours. Duration is different and learning hours is different. Outcome, what do you want from the training program, whatever you have designed. And then coming back to the measurements of whatever the training overall blended program you are trying to do, is that what you can cover. And then takeaways for all the three: participant, the training department, and the organization. What are the takeaways from this, whatever program you are designing? So this is what exactly was the assignment. And I am going to basically try to request who would like to volunteer to start with. You can think about it. I believe anybody can start. But before you do that, let me give you something from today, which we talked about it, but we did not discuss in detail. So aids of training methodology. I talked about three things. I talked about the mindset in the first class. We talked about the skills required to do the training methodology, and we talked about skill training also. And then I talked about the methodology tools and tips. And this is what exactly is right now the third thing, the tools. So we generally tend to mix all the three things: mindset, skill set, and tool set. But friends, all three are different, and you are learning, getting into the hardcore of training overall methodology through ISTD. So you should differentiate them. And as I mentioned to you, the sixth chapter of this book, which you have got it from ISTD, you should actually refer to that for all the details of this. And the point is the static tools and the dynamic tools. In training, we have all the static tools and dynamic tools, and we all know that. These are all, but for example, today, while we are working on a Zoom platform, on a virtual platform, many of the static tools have become very obsolete, very, very obsolete. You can't use a flip chart, but you have to use a digital flip chart. You cannot use a printed material, you have to use a digital academy. Your props will need to be changed because there are no physical props you can use because everybody is connected virtually. So static tools probably need to change and become more dynamic in a digital world. And that's what I believe you have to learn, I believe, from and pick up those cues through webinars and whatever you're attending in the last 8 months. I'm quite sure you may have seen that how different new tools in the digital era have become more popular. They were existing. It's not that they were new. Learning management systems and all these tools, quizzes, videos, all these things, audio, cues, props, everything has been there. But I believe it has been become more popular in the last, you can say, couple of months now, in fact, 7 to 8 months. So I just wanted you to appreciate that last week when we were talking about it, we did discuss this and some of you had answered that, but I just want to make sure that you differentiate all the three things: mindset, skill set, and tool set. And this is what exactly the aids or the tools are, in fact.
Shailesh sir, I just want to add here one thing,
Yes,
which
ma'am.
I experienced in my last session.
Sure.
We were taking some induction session. It was the last day. Normally, when we were doing the physical sessions, last day we were just doing the selfie type of selfies of all our participants, including trainers.
Correct.
So
Correct.
this time, because we are on a virtual mode, so we are using Microsoft Team app. So there is an option. Uh, you can click on a photos, like people are all the learners and facilitators are sitting on a chair, right? So in a combined, when I click on that icon, so I am able to see. I was not aware that is the application which matlab, this feature is also in that application. I tried once and I was so happy. I asked everyone, please uh, video on kare, on so that we all sits like in a training room, and I can take a screenshot of that in my print screen and take up then paste it in a paint, and we share with you how we are looking now in a virtual mode. So this is a new experience for us, from static to dynamic. This is one of the example which I feel is a very good, and even learners feels very good. This is ke aisa bhi hota hai to pata nahi tha. So this is a new learning. Actually, we are learning in a virtual mode currently.
Very true, Minaji, and thanks for sharing that. And I want everybody to share your experiences also, and that will make it an experiential workshop, in fact. So I believe let's keep it a very interactive session. And I believe we have done it in the last two also, and today also we'll do that. So looking forward for everybody to share that. Yeah, Jitinji, you were saying something? Okay. Okay. So I believe thanks for sharing, and I believe now is the time, I believe, which what we talked about, the case study design blended learning training program. So who would like to take the lead and share their experience of designing something? If you have something, if you had put it on a slide, I believe you can even share it and show it to everybody, or a document or whatever. So anybody who would like to start? Minaji, can I request you, I believe, with your experience, whatever you talked about the induction
Sir,
program.
I can do, but I have not created anything.
That's fine. That you can share it extempore. I can remove this slide, and I believe we'll look forward hearing you and seeing you.
Okay, sir. Just a sec, sir.
I can see Neha ji's hand also, so I believe very soon we'll come to you.
Just a sec, sir.
Yeah, sure. You can think about it. Extempore is also fine if you have not done it.
Extempore, I have something in my mind, so thought to share.
Sure. Go ahead, ma'am.
So my organization, as you know, I am into the life insurance. So my organization is SGFC Life Insurance, and the participant is basically a salesperson. And those are the frontline salespersons. So if I design a program for them, so in our industry, persistency means not selling insurance policy in one time. Getting premium is not suffice to our organization. So renewal premium is also a matters to us because profitability comes again only.
Correct.
Right. So persistency is the main key feature. So if I say the program designing duration course, at least for 2 days duration course, and the training hours would be bare minimum 2 hours for 1 day. So we do capsule sessions. We have already planned actually. matlab, we were thinking on that. So we have designed the program for 2 hours and the duration of 2 days. So total 4 hours sessions, where we are telling our salesperson what are the outcome is basically is selling insurance is not suffice. Taking first premium and then customer is not paying any renewal premium due to COVID, because people are losing their jobs and business may income is impacted. So due to that, we have given some opportunity, overall view on that ki you can tell the customers ki they can change their mode also. Due to annual, maybe they are not able to pay, so let them pay in a monthly mode, so that burden will be less. Then because protection is more important in this COVID scenario, so for a customer perspective, if they lose to pay the premium, the insurance cover would not be there. So in that case, family maybe suffer in future. He or she will die due to COVID or any other scenario.
Correct.
So second thing, they can pay premium through credit card and make them in EMIs. We have given the solution for them, and then we say if they're in an FD or any mutual fund where they say they can withdraw their amount and pay the premium. So we have given the solutions to continue the paying the premium for the salesperson, so that they can approach to their customers, tell them the importance of the renewal premium, what is the importance of the renewal premium, why it is important for them. So this is the session actually is important, and we do poll and quizzes in that also, and take some suggestions also from the participant, and doing changing in that also in future.
Very good. I believe I want if anybody would like to highlight the training methodology, what Meena ji has just now explained. What are the method which she has been using? And I believe she has just now explained that. So if anybody wants to demystify what is the training methodology she has been using, what tools she mentioned, and because this is about her designing, so I believe that's also fine. So can somebody really revisit and paraphrase whatever has been said in a training methodology perspective?
So we can use videos, quizzes in that.
Absolutely. That's what you said, that you said poll, quizzes, videos.
Role play also.
Okay. Role play comes into method. That's what I am trying to basically differentiate. Role play is a method, while poll, quiz, and videos are tools and aids.
Right.
Poll, quiz, videos are kind of quiz or tools, aids, while role play is a method. Because role play has a different impact, and case study has a different impact. On the job is a different impact. So that's what we have been talking about. So
we are using case study and role play.
Case study and role play, absolutely. So that's what I was visualizing. So case study and role play. And the way you described it, again, for everybody's benefit, the way Meena ji described it, it was targeted towards sales people. So the target audience is sales, in fact. So that's the first definition. And as part of insurance industry, that's again defined. The second thing which was very important when we talked about was the duration of the program. And what she said was, it was a virtual platform, and on a platform, whatever she may be using, identified in some technology, and she did share that. The duration of the program, or the learning hours she mentioned, was 4 hours. If you have not captured it, you have to observe that. These are all design parameters in defining or designing a training program. So it was a 4-hour training program. And there's a defined outcome, which she again defined it. So there was an outcome very well defined. And the duration, the learning hours are 4, 4 hours, 4 hours. And the duration of the program, or the learning hours, was 4 hours. So it was a 4-hour training program. And there was an outcome, which she again defined it. So there was an outcome very well defined. And the duration, the learning hours are 4, 4 hours, 4 hours. And the duration of the program, or the learning hours, was 4 hours. So it was a 4-hour training program. And there was an outcome, very well defined. So there was an outcome, very well defined. And the duration, the learning hours are 4, 4 hours, 4 hours. And the duration of the program, or the learning hours, was 4 hours. So it was a 4-hour training program. And there was an outcome, very well defined. So there was an outcome, very well defined. And the duration, the learning hours are 4, 4 hours, 4 hours. And the duration of the program, or the learning hours, was 4 hours. So it was a 4-hour training program. And there was an outcome, very well defined. So there was an but the duration of the program was 2 days. So over 2 days, the 4-hour learning program was to be delivered. And was it 2 days consecutive, or Minaji, or was it spread across weeks?
No, sir, consecutive days.
Consecutive 2 days. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So again, the point could be, was it on a weekday or a weekend?
So weekdays, not weekends. We are
Weekdays.
not using weekends.
And was it in the office 9 to 6 hours, 9 to 6 p.m. or
Yeah,
after 6:30?
right. No, sir, within 9 to 6.
Within 9 to... So these are all parameters. I wanted everybody to appreciate that. These are all parameters when you are designing a program, whether it's a off-peak or peak hours, working days or off working days, because trainings are many times designed accordingly. So training program need to be designed accordingly. So the programs which we have to design have to consider all these parameters. And my dear friends, in ISTD, when you actually will attempt for assignments and exam, you will have to design that. So these are all parameters, because you have to discuss with the business leader or the participants or the organization HR head or the training head, in fact, to design something of this magnitude, whatever it has to be covered.
Sir, we have designed this program after discussing with the stakeholders. Even if they want then the weekends to do this session, so there are some leaders also on another channel. They says ki we are able to do only a Saturday and Sunday. So you need to do on a Saturday and Sunday. So we did one program for one stakeholder for Saturday and Sunday also.
Absolutely. So now you are understanding that. That's exactly what my point was. So yes, I believe all this is part of the design, because when you are, and I'm not talking about the content design right now. I'm talking about the methodology, because this paper is all about training methodology. Content design is a very different topic, and it's a very elaborate topic. In fact, there are certifications of that also. So which is the second paper which you are anyway doing. The second paper is more focused towards that itself. But the third paper and the fourth paper is more on the training methodology. So methodology is something which we are talking about from designing this concept. And today, in the current scenario, the importance of blended learning has become more and more important. So if I ask a question again, I'm going back to the same example what Minaji has referred. Did you give any reading material, Minaji, to these participants?
Yes, sir.
And how did you do that?
Form. In a PDF form on mail.
PDF form on a mail, absolutely.
And the second is we have some application where they need to complete that course also along with quizzes.
Absolutely. So
as their attendance get blocked.
Exactly.
That is mandatorily.
Very good. Very good. So I want everybody to understand that the blended method, I believe earlier when we were doing the sessions, I believe we used to give handouts. In a workshop, physical workshop, you'll give a physical handout or something, workbook, which you can give it, and people are attempting that. But that methods have changed. Again, the very aptly given as an example by Minaji is it was given as a PDF. This PDF can be right now by email, or it can be done in a overall learning management system also, or an academy kind of a system also. So you can put it, people can log in and then access it. They can do the submissions or the quizzes, and they can be their overall program assessments, everything will be in their complete academy itself, in a learning management system itself. So all this thing can be aided by that. So if you're part of an organization which can really do that, it's perfectly fine. Otherwise, there are tools and methodologies which are available freely, and there are people organizations like they are giving outsourced services like that. Like our organization actually does a lot of outsourcing services for that, for corporates and MSMEs also. So these are all available things right now in today's world.
Sir, so even calling script in PDFs and videos we shared in the WhatsApp group. So that people are able to understand, because in a 2-day session only for 4 hours, everything not digested by the participants. So they need to be a regular learning also. So that's why we shared PDF and videos on a WhatsApp too. We have created that videos internal. We trainers actually created that videos while talking to each other, and then create in a group and share with the participant how they can start the call, how they do the call, how they convince to the customer for the renewal premium.
Very good. So I believe, friends, if you have liked the case study what Minaji has shared, just type like in the chat box. If you have liked whatever the case study which Minaji has shared, just type like in the chat box. Whatever she has shared, her experience of the complete methodology I believe you liked it. Just go ahead and appreciate her for her efforts of sharing that with all of us. And I really appreciate that. Thanks for sharing that case study with us, Meenakshi, from the insurance industry, in fact. And I'm quite sure people who are new to that probably will appreciate that this kind of a design, what you may have used as a methodology, in fact. And how do you represent that as an example? And all those things we'll anyway talk about it, because these are all theoretical examples, while understanding and practically doing is what we are doing it. But theoretically, how to represent that in your examination paper, we'll talk about that. Okay, thank you. So that's absolutely good. And I probably can give one more person a chance to share his or her case study. We have heard an insurance case study from Meenaji. And if anybody else would like to share one more case study of your organization, of a design of a blended learning, the way we just now discussed from your organization. So I have one more person who can share his or her experience of a case study. Who would like to do that?
Shailesh sir, Arnab Sen Gupta here.
Yeah, Arnabji, go ahead.
Shailesh sir, we are into solutioning for training companies. And I think last time also we discussed, I'm more in sales and we sell blended learning tools to different clients.
Okay.
One of the requirement which is coming these days pretty much is from consumer durable industry, automobile, and also we have done few projects in insurance vertical as well. To mention few of the blended tools that we are doing, which we call LMS plus plus.
Okay.
In a way, in that you take all the sales team, for example, if that's the target audience. Right now during COVID time, what is the challenge is you are not able to do many classroom sessions. That's
Okay.
one. Second, which is also taking a backseat, is OJT or coaching interventions. Why? Because the trainer has to go and there is a risk.
Correct.
So our blended learning tool has one traditional solution of it is integrated to Zoom and WebEx. So all the virtual learning training and attendance and all that can be managed through it. So something which we are giving to clients. Second, what we are doing is we are giving a lot of coaching tools into it. So for example, practice your pitch is one thing which we are giving. So it's an AI driven, artificial intelligence driven tool. What it does is, say for example, in an automobile industry, a person talks about car or demos the car. He has to mention the basic features of the car. Now this AI driven thing catches those keywords whether he is saying it or not. Also the emotions and the communication is as per the requirement or not, whether he was having a pleasing tone of voice, he was what we call in communication skills, different parameters. So without any human intervention, it gives feedback. Also this pitch can be recorded and the trainer or coach can give a feedback directly after seeing the recording. So that's one. Second, we give role play assignment, which is another tool. So a role play is assigned by trainer, and based on that, the sales executive gives response to that role play that is recorded. Again, coaching intervention happens. OJT, on the job training, can happen virtually, and then there is a matrix or a assessment parameter which can be online filled. Coaching interventions are also there, wherein the coachee can record in voice or give written responses. So these four things have enabled coaching to a larger extent. The coverage, area coverage, has increased for the trainers and coaches. So that is something which has helped companies, align training as well as coaching intervention. Plus, it has given an add-on layer of artificial intelligence based coaching layer. अदरवाइज पहले हमारे क्या होता था कि हम ट्रेनिंग करते थे और कोचिंग करते थे. अब क्या है कि एक मशीन ड्रिवन कोचिंग भी हो गया. सो इट्स एड ऑन लेयर एंड सपोर्ट टू द लर्नर. और उसके साथ साथ यू हैव द एनालिटिक्स आल्सो, हाउ मेनी कोर्सेज आर बीइंग कवर्ड, हु इज watching what. Plus it also kind of customizes with each learner's competency. So say somebody is not very good in need analysis, so it will pick up videos from Skillsoft, from YouTube, from the learning base of the company, and show only need analysis or probing skills videos and PDFs to that person. Somebody who is not good in closing, he will be only shown closing. So if there are, say, 10,000 sales team, each team member will have a personalized learning experience rather than a generic learning experience. So therefore we call it LMS plus plus, because a lot of LMSs you see everything, but this one customizes the learning for everyone. So I mean, that's how we are kind of trying to support the current situation and help the industry and nation in terms of providing blended learning solutions. There are many more, but this particular LMS's or LMS++ analytics also combines with the sales performance. So it shows the coaching engagement, the training engagement, and also the sales performance number, and shows a correlation and ROI of training, whether the training is giving the right results in business or not. And going future, this will enable the organization to be digitally ready for any such similar situation. So I mean, this COVID has fastened the process actually. ये शायद आज से 7-8 साल बाद होता अगर ये कोविड पैंडेमिक नहीं होता तो मैं भी शायद और किसी कंपनी में काम कर रहा होता, इस कंपनी में शायद नहीं कर रहा होता अगर ये पैंडेमिक नहीं होता तो. So it has, you know, disruptions often leads to opportunities sometimes. So
Arnab, I believe the way you have explained it is very well appreciated, and we can talk separately on depth on lens, so
Sure.
offline.
Sure.
But what I want your attention right now on the training methodology perspective, while you have beautifully explained the tools angle, you have actually highlighted the tools, the LMS++ concept beautifully, I believe. What I want you to just probably in another 1 minute highlight the measures, like you gave an example of the need analysis and giving them a recommendation of specific tips and tools for whatever the gap you may have identified in the LMS++. That's a good example. But the measures which I believe are used in the training methodology, and probably could be your own platform or any methodology for that matter, whatever you're using, measurements. What are the metrics and measurements in learning which you have been using? If you can just talk for another 1 minute, probably it will help everybody.
Yeah, so it is from a, say, we'll take a role context in that case, say automobile car sales executive. So if the role play happens, there is a measuring matrix on it, right from the start of the sales call to the end of the sales call. Now there is a retail sales process also and retail process also, which kind of measures in terms of OJT or on the coaching tool. So there are 3 different matrices. One is for coaching, one is for OJT, one is for sales. And fourth is from the context of numbers being achieved, you know, how many closures you are making. So all that is there. And similarly, similar metrics is also there for trainers, you know, in how their virtual learning is happening based on parameters and metrics, their training capability or, you know, training delivery quality, which we say based on metrics is being measured. Their coaching capability is being measured based on metrics. And these are all competency based. The rubrics and the parameters are designed based on each role's competency. And this is also very good for leadership and middle management program because their customized learning becomes even more important. But more or less, it is used for frontline right now because the need is much higher because of COVID scenario.
Very good, very good, very good. I believe so. I like that absolutely, Arnab, and the way you have explained it is also very, very interesting. And I believe I'm just going to basically put that slide right now where we were. So, friends, I believe what again before I proceed ahead, I would like to appreciate whatever Arnab's call was, and if you probably liked whatever Arnab has shared from a case study perspective, you can just type in liked inside the chat box, or probably appreciate giving a thumbs up to Arnab, in fact, whatever he has shared, in fact. So I'm quite sure all of us are learning from each other's experience. So just now, Meenaji has shared from an insurance industry, and Arnab has shared as a LMS++, I believe, the tools which he is trying to use and how it can add value. So I believe if you are liking that, just appreciate whatever has been shared by Meena and Arnabji, in fact, in the specific thing. So, okay, so moving on, I believe, friends, while what Arnab was just now sharing, role-based, competency-based thing, and this is a typical case study which I'm showing it to you. And this is absolutely a kind of a framework which has been designed as a complete program for an organization. And it talks about the professional excellence, which is at a certain band of people, then leadership excellence on a certain band of people, then sales excellence, what we talked about it for a certain role of people, and then organization aligned initiative. So those can be different from different. So this is a typical for an organization which has been used, and they could be of different certification level. If you talk about professional excellence at a different level, if you talk about leadership, they are at a different level. In leadership also, there are 5-6 different types of leadership skills. So which one do you want to design? Which one do you want to touch? These are all different categories and calibers, and you define the level of blended whichever you want, 10, 20, or 70, or 30, 40, and 30. So what is the level of blended which you are looking forward for in a mix of physical, virtual, and e-learning, and ebooks and videos and whatever? So I believe the blended learning has to take care of all that. And organizational initiatives are also very, very important, friends. And these can be for a specific mission of an organization. This is for specific type of an organization which you may be looking forward for. So in this case, probably if you want to drive something and an innovation, for example, my expertise comes out as an innovation evangelist inside when I go to a corporate. So the organizations have driven an innovation evangelist program all throughout to make a radical change. What it means is that right from anybody, the lowest level of an individual contributor, to a team leader or a manager, or to the senior leadership of entrepreneurship, enterprising leaders, everybody has to be talking, walking, and delivering on the innovation itself. And that's exactly creates an organization initiative of a certain, you can say, a vision and mission of the organization itself, aligned to the vision and mission of the organization. So these are some examples and a design of an organization based upon what we were just now talking, and how methodology, what we talked about, can lead to this, in fact. So this is just to give you, that was experience, what we heard of 3 case studies right now, one from Meena ji from insurance. The second one we talked about is LMS plus from a tools perspective. And this is more of the role-based, competency-based things, which can be blended by design. So before I move on, any questions till now by anybody on any of these things? Kisi ka koi question or probably a contribution you want to give it on these concepts, what we have been talking, because this is a very, very important concept which we are discussing for training methodology, cognitive, which will come to you, in fact, in your practical experience as well as your theory paper of ISTD. So I'm trying to give due importance to this topic and time, so that if you have any questions or clarifications or even contributions, feel free to do that right now. Okay, I'm holding it, in fact, for. Okay, so if everybody is clear on this much, I mean, can I expect me, in fact, on the chat box, me, you are there with me? Can you just type a me, in fact, that okay, it's clear, you are already inside this, things are clear, and then we can proceed ahead. Aage badh sakte hain, because this is a short assignment which is going to be there with you. And the coming week, you will have to probably attempt that, and you will have to do a submission also. So I'm probably going to not proceed ahead with a new topic. I'll try to cover this topic so that you are not stuck in your assignment or your submission, what is going to happen, in fact, in the coming week itself. And this next week going to be a festive week, so you will have less time. So my suggestion is do that early rather than waiting for the Diwali to happen towards the next weekend. So before we meet on the next Sunday, probably that is 15th, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so I can see a lot of you are already in with this concept and you are clear about that. So let me move on. Okay, so with this, let me try to give you a specific, another case study, the way you can take it, in fact, and design it further. And there's a little bit of a theory to basically put it into how you actually do that and do a submission around that. Kaise aap submit karenge? So in a professional excellence, what you saw earlier just now, this is the volume of employees which could be there. You can have from it, whatever I showed you, the big picture, I'm going down to a professional excellence program itself. So in a professional excellence, you can have different kinds of programs. So this is a list of all the programs which you may be targeting, because not one, for example, not everybody needs the same thing. Different people have different things based upon the training need analysis which you may have done. And I'm using the word training need analysis, TNA. So training need analysis has to be done on the employees or the target employees, whatever you have selected, and then identify the training programs. and this is how it has to be done. So for certain people, the team aspect has to be focused on, because they may be probably they have to work as a co-worker or as a team player or even as a team leader also. So they have to really know the overall team sensitive, because most of the people work as individuals and then graduate towards that role. And this is one of the biggest gap which happens in the journey of anybody's career growth. So there is a program which gets designed around that, which is on team excellence itself. This is called individual to transitioning to a team leader kind of a role, in fact. So that's a program which is on professional excellence design, and it could be a 6-day kind of a program targeted towards a certain band of people, and that's how you can define it, in fact. Then I believe if you have a need of interaction of a different stakeholders, which could be global stakeholders or global customers, I believe you can define a program which could be more on cross-cultural orientation. And that's again another thing which is very, very different and unique if your organization requires that. That could be something else based upon your organization again. Then business communication and effective communication, everybody knows communication is something, a very common thing. Everybody sees that, and बहुत सारे लोग बहुत कुछ करते रहते हैं. I believe on communication, and sometimes some people wrongly put English as the communication or the language as the communication, which is not right, because communication effectiveness is not about just the language. How do you express yourself? For example, I believe there are so many different ways of communication where the person may have not even spoken a word. And I believe there are movies to basically prove that. I believe Charlie Chaplin is a classical example, I believe, who got a standing ovation in the Oscar Award for Lifetime Achievement Award for 12 minutes because he made movies where it didn't have a word. So effective communication is not always language itself. So one can define a program, and I believe it can target certain band of people and the duration of the program. So this is how you can really create different kinds of programs. And then going on to the managerial excellence, I believe this is again very, very common. You can define a program for managers and first-time managers or tenured managers, and I believe seasonal managers or transitioning managers, whatever, the functional managers. So you can define those kind of programs depending upon the need of your organization or the department or the people whom you are going to supposed to train, and define the band and whatever the overall track which you are taking and the duration of the program. And the learning hour also, you can put that also. I mean, many times in the virtual environment, learning hours, the way Meenaji defined, it was a 4-hour program spread across 2 days. So you can define the learning hours and the duration both. While this is only duration, you can even add a column and put the learning hours also. And these kind of way will make your design more complete. Yeah, even there's an example of if people are traveling across. Many people do not know how to travel, what to travel, and what are the sensitive things they have to take care while they're traveling. While today, for example, if you have seen in this pandemic, all the airlines, all the trains, all the public transport, they are training people on how you are supposed to travel. And there are so much of education which is happening. They will give you pamphlet, there are posters written, they will keep announcing things, and they will educate you. I mean, their whole process of training for any traveling is there. The same thing I believe is relevant if your organization requires. If it's a manufacturing organization, definitely it's required. How do they need to do that? If you see, when the unlock was happening, this exactly was one of the major focus areas for organization. So this is another program which you have to put it in your training calendar to basically make sure that it is getting executed. It could may not be a very detailed program. It could be a small sensitization or orientation session also. So that's okay. That's absolutely fine. So this is again an example of, you can say, a training calendar of a certain role of people which you can design and define it in fact. So any suggestions or any sharings on your organization's training program, which probably you are running previous to the pandemic, and it has changed in the current situation itself. So I would like at least 1 or 2 people to share what kind of training programs were there earlier and what has happened in the last 8 months, in fact. So anybody can probably unmute yourself, raise your hand, and probably you can go ahead and share that. And then we can pick up how and what probably we can do to make it more effective as a design. Go ahead, in fact, who would like to share your training program which you have been running in your organization or in your overall area of ecosystem where you are operating?
Sir, Meena Karmakar.
Yeah, Meena.
Sir, we are doing induction program. Before that, it was 7 days. Now it is almost 20 days of program due to we are doing session on a virtual program now, virtual platform.
Okay.
Physically, it was from 9 to 6. Now it is only for 2 or 3 hours, two or more than a 2.5 session. So what we added in that, before that we were not doing the OGTs in the now the OGT format is little bit different what we were doing before that. Now the
Correct.
OGT, before that we were doing what we were doing before lockdown. We were going along with the physical presence of trainers or managers were there on the calls. But currently because due to lockdown we are not able to move more in the field. So we were just guiding on a format. Some of the formats we are using, there is some guidance we are doing through OGT formats we have designed for that.
Okay.
So how they do the prospecting, how they do the calls to their customers, what is the role of manager. They go with the along with their sub senior manager. If some senior manager or manager have any call, so how they can go along with them and see the calls if there is any physical or video call. And
Okay.
parallelly we have our company has launched one application, a video application for the employees, where they can sit at their home and do calling through video call. They can share the benefits of the policies and all the details of the customers, and if customer ready to buy that policy, in front of them only, through video only they fill the form and customer is able to see that form. Everything is able there, whatever the online form filling is going on, everything, every details is okay or not.
Okay.
If something happens, something is wrong, they can say, okay, no, this is not the right spelling and all, you can correct it over there. Once they submit the application form on a video call and customer is able to see, everything is live in front of the customer.
Okay.
And then they move to the payment link and tell the customer, now this is the payment link I'm sharing with you. Once there is a pop-up which you will received in your text box, so please click on that, or on your registered mail ID and a registered mobile number, and both the way you will get a payment link. Click on it, pay the premium, you will see. Then I move ahead for the documentation and all. Once you give your documents, you give your Aadhaar number, it's auto populated all the things in my documents wala part also. And whatever the details after that you need is required, we take it and then close the form. So immediately, if any medical is also required, they can connect to the medical team on the spot in front of the customer, and medical team will fix the timing in front of the customers only. So this is how virtually we are running this video call in front of the customer, and customer is very happy to, the experience of the customer is very positive in this. So
Very true.
this is one of the new way we are doing this virtual platform.
I believe that's a great example again, Minaji. I believe for how things have started changing from a different variety of program. Your induction changed from 6 days. You have moved to 20 days, and you cannot do now an 8-hour session because it becomes very exhausting for people to stick on the this kind of a session. So even if you see the way we have organized in ISTD, now there's a 1.5 hours, half an hour break, 1.5 hours, then again a break, half 1.5 hours break, and then 1.5 hours. So otherwise, it will become, you are very hectic. Virtually, it will not be very healthy also. So I believe that kind of sessions have to be organized, and that's how the structuring has been done. I believe so. That's the benefit, I believe, and you gave a very good example how the programs are changing actually. Another thing which you talked about was also very important, the prospecting kind of applications, and what they have to learn from the impact of the organization, and video calling has become a way of working, in fact, for. So now the tool has been given in the hands of the participants also, and that's all part of your training curriculum. And I really see, and I'm quite sure, I believe I can go on, because the impact parameter on the business of all this training outcome, I'm quite sure will be very huge. So I'm not sure whether it has been measured in your organization, Minaji, because
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are, measurement is also going on, sir. Every program is going to be measured. Even we also get score for that. Everything is now counting. Before that, we don't. Malab, if you ask me, malab, we don't bother when we were in the physical training. Na, But currently we are so bothered about each and everything. Ki, participant is not in front of my connectivity. Matlab they are on a virtual mode, on a video off mode. He or she is listening me or not, I have no idea. So we need to poke again and again. Please tell, please tell, please tell. Sometimes there are connectivity issues also due to that we are not able to. But yes, measurement is there, and we are getting every month reports over there. Ki what is actually whatever you have taught, what actually the outcome of that input is there, but what is the outcome of that? That is also going to be measured in our in all the parameters.
And I believe if you can quantify it with the business outcome of of your insurance company, the training has impacted rise of what you talked about, renewals. If the
Correct.
renewals in this month was this much, and in next month the renewals happened this much because of this many training hours, I believe you have done your job and your job will be secure. Okay.
So even sales so much appreciated to L&D departments in our company. Ki L&D departments, we were not sure कि after lockdown how we move ahead as a salesperson, because insurance जो है वो video call पे नहीं बिकता है, वो बैठ के जाके ही बिकता है.
Correct.
So they were said कि we were very much worried about कि how we move ahead in our sector. But the L&D has shown a great support and great initiative they have taken. They are available from matlab every time. If we say 24/7, they are available for our team. So we actually got appreciations from our stakeholders also as a trainer.
That's exactly what is required, and I can fully appreciate that and fully understand that. So thanks again, Minaji, for taking the lead and sharing that example of different programs, the way you are running, and what are the impact outcome of those programs as we were talking about. So anybody else who would like to share and who has not spoken, probably it's a great opportunity to do that ice breaking and create an impression with all of us, I believe, which are right now here. So who would like to share, I believe, one of the case studies or methods of your, all the different, not the method only, the different programs which our organization is running, the way we have been talking, and I showed you a live examples also.
So this is Neha.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
So we are looking for some kind of amalgamation between the two things, like the virtual world and the physical world. So during I may drift a little bit, but I do have this query, because in my last session, in my last class, we were discussing about the hindrances also of designing a virtual program. So I would like to raise one question, sir. How do we deal with things that are related to the physical health issues that are coming up with these designing, and 2 hours of sessions is okay, but where Meenaji said we are taking 4 hours, or if you are going for 8 hours of sessions, so how do we cope up with these things?
Okay.
How can we design something which is like good for health as well? It's not affecting our physicality.
So,
Like in our city during pandemic times, like the schools were taking classes virtually, so the parents were complaining and they had to move to the higher authority, so to say the collector, to stop these things. And because they were having a lot of problems with the kids and their eyesight issues, so things of these sort are untalked. Like we sometimes neglect them while designing a program. So how to come up with?
So Nehaji, I believe, let me tell you first, this is one of the most relevant questions which you have asked. So it is not off the track, it is very relevant question. So that's a very, very relevant in fact. So thanks for asking. Which city are you coming in from?
I come from Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh.
Wonderful, wonderful. So this is the most relevant question which has been there in the last 8 months, and all the education industry and the training industry is going through that. So I'll give you a little bit of a flip side before I answer your question. In fact, the good news is there are a couple of industries which are still growing in the last 8 months, and the one industry which is growing is training industry and education industry.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
so that is still growing, and I believe आज भी आप फीस कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं, लोग स्कूल कलेक्ट कर रहा है, ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं,
Yes,
फीस
yes,
कलेक्ट हो रही है,
yes.
आपके बच्चे और मेरे बच्चे सबको फीस अभी भी मैं भी दे रहा हूँ, आप भी दे रहे होगे फीस, तो स्कूल अभी भी फीस ले रहा है, केवल उसने
जी
बस फीस हटा दी है, गेम
जी
फीस हटा दी है कि भैया गेम नहीं
जी
खिला रहे हैं, लेकिन बाकी चीजें फीस ले रहा है वो. So that's exactly what the situation is, and I believe that's how it is there. So, but coming back to the design aspect of that question, but before I answer that question, what Nehaji has asked, does anybody want to attempt to answer what Nehaji has asked? कोई भी आंसर करने की कोशिश करेगा before I actually address that? I believe it's absolutely a very relevant question in today's situation, and how do
Yes,
we
sir,
address
because
this?
I am in a dilemma and I keep thinking on those lines that
It is
having
right.
said that, you have all the advantages of it, but on the flip side is something else. Like at times you become irritative and psychologically it hits.
Absolutely right. So it's a very
And the
relevant
human
question.
touch is missing. The human touch is missing. The ambience is not there. So the environment changes.
Very relevant, very relevant. So I'm just waiting if somebody else wants to respond to that. I'll be very happy.
We have
Sir, not
external
only
distractions also,
sir,
like
not only for
noise
the
there.
participants, it's for the facilitators also, because sitting at home and
Yes,
doing the session is not very easy for everyone.
easy.
Even I feel also. So because that's why it's a when we started induction program for our employees, so we were very shocked to do a 2 hour session daily for 20 or 22 days is not very easy, because back to backs we do sessions. We sit at 9:30 and till 3:30 or 4 o'clock we are not able to able to talk to anyone and able to move from in front of my laptop, because it's a continuous process. Then we started doing when we do the induction program or training program, because it's a virtual sessions there is, so we requested our team ki please plan 2 trainers for them. One is for the observer and one do the session. So first half one trainer do, second half one trainer do, 1 hour's training done by one trainer, and second 1 hour 1 hour training done by the second trainer. So we have requested to our company, and company was agree on that. The sitting continuously from 9:30 to 3 for a single person is not very easy, because there is a back-to-back sessions which is going on. So I think this is one of the way we can manage the facilitator sides. Now, if I ask the learner sides, so yes, they have need to be there for the 2 hours or 3 hours a session, whatever they have. Connectivity issues is there. They have some atmosphere. Physical touch is not there. Yes, even they feel sometimes we are not able to connect with our trainers. So that's why we created that WhatsApp platform, so that they can, if they have any queries and all, they can come us and connect us. Whenever we get free, we answer on them. But yes, life is more busy than before that we were doing that physical training. That is correct. That I also feel the same.
Very true, very true. And I believe you have answered that beautifully also, two parts of that question, which Nehaji was asking, in fact, and your example also you had answered that. So the first thing which you
Yes,
very
sir.
well said is there are two trainer concept. For example, I have been doing this session. From today, Sunday happens to be a little busier day for us, because
Yes,
many
sir.
other people are free. So in the corporate world, I was in a session in the morning, but I took a secondary role in the morning session, because I knew today's session of my ISTD, I'll be the primary one. So between the facilitators,
Right.
one can take a primary and a secondary role, and that happens in the school also. And just a second. Somewhere, okay, so there's a little bit of a background noise somewhere. Okay, now it's fine. So I believe there is a primary role and a secondary role of a facilitator, which can be taken to solve the facilitator problem. Because yes, I believe you cannot sit for so long, and I believe it is easy to move off. So I knew, and the second thing from a design concept again, so two trainer model has to be designed. You have to design the content and everything, the overall scheme, the program outline, that the true trainers are part of the design. So that's again one parameter of design. The second parameter which Meenaji already shared in her design was induction program of 6 days got staggered to 20 days. 6 days got staggered to 20 days. And one day, not more than 2 hours. So that means That 6 hours of induction got squeezed to 2 hours in a day. So even the physical fitness aspect was reduced. And that's exactly typical thing is, if any session today or virtual is kept from 1.5 hours to 2.5 hours, that's a typical duration of a typical virtual, one session of that. So that's again a design parameter, and that's going to be the need of the hour, the new normal of training industry. So that's how the second parameter is. Stagger it. The duration can be increased. The duration, the time duration has to be reduced. That's again second parameter. Like what we are doing in ISTD, breaks and everything. The third parameter which you have to consider is how can you really make the learner do physical activities. Because Nehaji talked about the school. Let me give you a school example. एक school का example देता हूँ. One of my friend's wife, she is teaching in a school, and physically पहले करते थे, अब क्या है? So the way you and me are interacting, I believe you can see me, I am sitting and the camera is there. But she is doing it little differently. What she does, she has positioned her camera and everything very differently, and she stands and takes the class. She doesn't sit. She stands and takes the class. खड़े होकर के वो क्लास लेती हैं, and जो बच्चे हैं उनको वो डांस सिखाती हैं. So जो बच्चे हैं वो भी खड़े हो रहे हैं, और जो टीचर है उनकी वो भी खड़ी हुई है और कैमरे में दिख रहे हैं. तो practically it's a dance class or a musical class or a painting or a drawing class, which no student is supposed to sit and draw on a computer. She does not uses the whiteboard of a Zoom or the I believe I can use a Zoom dashboard here. I mean, I'm quite sure all of you are aware of it. For example, this is a whiteboard. This is a whiteboard, and I can draw here. But she does not uses this whiteboard. She does not uses this whiteboard. She uses a physical whiteboard standing on the wall. She uses a physical whiteboard and with a marker pen and a chalk, and she uses that. So the students also, while you can say the visuals will be small, but she uses that. But she's not teaching there. She's only trying to give an ambience of you have to stand and do whatever exercise which you are doing. And even another part of the learner is you ask them to stretch. After some time, you ask them to stretch. And I believe we give you tea break or coffee break and stretch breaks also. Like bio breaks, what physically we do a bio break, now the virtual also you have to do the same thing. So physically you have to do that. And last but not the least, just to give what Nehaji, what you asked me as a tip, your PPTs have to change. Your presentations have to be changed. You cannot squeeze so much of content in a single slide. Otherwise, you have to basically focus to see the slide itself. So your PPTs has to change now, because most of our PPTs are made to put it in front of a projector which is wall big. जो पूरे wall पे दिख रहा होगा. अब आपका क्या है? आपका PPT दिख रहा है केवल लैपटॉप में या मोबाइल पे, but it is there on a mobile. So mobile पे how do you do that? How do you see a small screen and a slide which is so long, उसमें बहुत सारा content लिखा हुआ है? It's not possible. So physically, to relax your eyes, your content has to be bigger. And last but not the least, why do you want to use a presentation here? Why do you want to use a presentation? Learn the technique the way I believe is required to have an interactive session where he or she is only seeing like a video chat. Zoom also can be used as a video chat the way I'm talking right now. For example, you don't require a slide, in fact. So how, if you see in the last 3 sessions, how much of PPT do I have I used? Practically, I have used only for 5-6 slides, that's all, in the last 3 sessions. So the idea is to basically make sure that you reduce the focus. So if you, while you are listening to me or you're talking to me, you are seeing me, you don't have to really stare at the screen, or you have to stare at the mobile phone to really read whatever I'm showing you. And if I'm showing you, I'm showing it only for a very small period. I showed you for more or less than 3 to 4 minutes, the slide which I showed it to you, and then I removed it. So that's how you can de-stress or relax, what Rakesh you said, relax your body, physical or aesthetics, to make sure that your participants and as well as you are relaxed. So did I answer, Neha, some bit of your question?
Yes, sir, very much. Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
We can use sticky also. We can use sticky also for the important points or important notes. So it is color sticky gives us a little bit attraction to the child.
Very true. Very true. Yes, Bhumiji, you were saying something.
Yes, sir. Actually, what you said, I mean, there has not
Your voice has gone,
been the
Bhumiji.
lock.
Your voice
Hello?
was breaking. Your voice was breaking. You can say that again.
Okay. Is it, am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So this is not something, I mean, when you ask that, has there been any change in what we did before lockdown and after lockdown? There has been no change because we have been doing what you just said for 4 years now, because ours is a digital platform. I mean, we do teach in classes as well. I mean, I'm a language trainer, but then
Okay.
what you said is exactly what we do. Keeping the slides to minimum and having interactive sessions is what we do, and we cater to a global classroom. So, anywhere from one student to I mean n number of students that we are actually told to cater to. This is how we do, as you said. Because sometimes our sessions range anywhere from 1.5 hours to 4.5 5 hours. This is how we do.
Very true. Very true. And I believe language I can fully understand because language is more of a memorizing thing, I believe. So you have to linguistic, I believe. So which language do you teach, Bhumiji?
It is English language, and basically it is for IELTS, PT, TOEFL, and all those. I mean, language tests that a candidate has to pass to. I mean, go abroad.
Absolutely right. I know that I know many people who have attempted and tried to do that, and I saw that those people are learning. And you are right, absolutely. So language, I believe, has to have memorizing, and I believe they can use actually physical post-its. So like
No, this is not
this kind.
memorizing. No, this is not memorizing kind of thing, sir.
Okay.
This is altogether a different thing. We have to cater to all the different. I mean, the listening is one of the criteria. So communication part is more important in this. Listening, reading, writing, everything has to be focused, not just speaking part or learning part or memorizing part.
So if I may ask you, in fact, because yes, you rightly said, I mean, things have not changed for you in the last 8 months prior and this much. So communication of language definitely needs reading, writing, listening, and speaking. All the
These are
four
the four
elements.
papers we need to. I mean, four modules that we need to cater to basically. Yeah.
Very true, very true, very true. And I believe all the four modules are so important. So the virtual, what I'm just going to pose something what Nehaji asked. So the physical connect or the physical visual appear, does it hamper your communication or language
Not at all.
communication?
Not at all. 4 years back, when I was asked to do first session online, I was a bit nervous, and I just asked to the person associate. I don't know if it would be a success, and he just said it is just like a classroom session. Do not be nervous at all. I prepared, and within 3 to 4 days we were online, and then I did understand that there is no difference. The only point that you said, we need to have interactive sessions and less of stress. I mean, if there are more of the ppts which stress your eyes, or where you have to just keep on listening, then it is at some point of time it becomes so boring. So
Very
we
true.
have to, yeah, it has to be fun with learning kind of thing, and also very interactive kind of.
Very true, Bhumiji. In fact, and I believe, I can vouch for it because I come from an organization which I have worked for, where the one of the statements which was being shared by the CEO of the organization, which he wrote a book also, and it has gone into Harvard case study. And his name is Vineet Nair, in fact, and he authored a book called Employee First, Customer Second. And with this kind of a vision and mission, he made a statement like people identify leaders with good times and leaders are made in tough times. So friends, I believe this is what exactly I'm trying to say. Sorry, I believe so, Bibhuji, before just to close the session, in today's situation, I believe the more and more we are getting into these kind of situation, all of us as trainers also have to take the role of a leader. And I believe leadership means we have to really be sensitive to the needs of our participants and then design something as a training methodology or a program which is friendly to them. And I can see many of you are already doing that. While you are sharing your experiences, I can really help you in that journey. But I believe you are already doing that. If you're not, probably if you share more, probably we'll make it. How can we make and co-create I mean, your idea and my idea will become our idea, and we can create to this training industry something unique as a gift. Because the order situation we are in, I believe as a corporate, we have been doing this from last years together, as rightly said by Bhupaji. But I believe the way things are going forward in the next 2 to 3 years, at least this will be the new ways of training as an industry. So what are the things which we need to do differently? And as an ISTD, I believe this is a great platform to create something unique and new. And that's the reason I'm trying to basically suggest there's a book which is there, Employee First, Customer Second. You can go back and read it. I believe this book is there in my shelf behind me also. If you see the books, I have an inventory of book behind me as a bookshelf. So I believe I can vouch for it. I can read each and every line of that book. I can really explain that for hours and days together. So
Okay, the name is Employee First, Customer Second, right?
absolutely. The name of the book is Employee First, Customer Second.
All right.
And if you can figure out which organization this is, I believe it would be really great. And you can share that in the next session. In fact, I'm looking forward for people sharing this, whatever the outcome of whatever you have read it as a learning from that session itself. So you
Sure.
can
And
share
sir,
that.
one more thing. I mean, I'm also undergoing one of the certifications from Microsoft. I mean, they also have an educational platform, and it's completely on blended learning. Since this is my first session of yours, I mean, I have not had any session of yours prior to this one. I could not share that. I mean, I did not know that you have asked candidates to design a blended learning program, but they do have a whole certification or a course on blended learning, and this has been going on for quite a time now. I don't know exactly when they started it, but it was designed in 2000. I mean, over a period of 2009 to 2012.
So Bhubiji, what we want is, I believe all of us as part of ISTD should become designers also. I believe so. Yes, I believe I've been doing this from last more than 12 years now. So obviously things have been existing in the overall industry in India as well as outside. But what we want as part of this paper 3 or paper 4, that each one of us should become a designer of training programs also. While we have to deliver that, there are two aspects: delivery of the program and designing the program.
And that is a crucial element for us as trainers, because we cannot proceed without planning a lesson or planning a training session. We have to have a session with us planned completely and projected prior to prior to the session. I mean, starting commencement of the session.
Very true, very true. And I believe that's the reason I believe we have to do this and basically try to capture this in this journey of whatever we are trying to do. And that's the reason I've shared a link for everybody, which is what I'm quite sure people who have attended earlier will know that. Just click that link, and what you will have that is, जो आज आपने सीखा है, whatever you have learned today, you have to share one thing which you want to start something, and one thing which you want to stop, and one thing which you want to continue. What is this start, stop, continue? Whatever you have learned today, in fact, in training methodology to design a learning program. If you have learned something new which you want to start, which you are not doing it, capture that into start head itself. So start mein mention kar dijiyega. And one thing which you feel I believe is irrelevant, which you were doing earlier and it has become irrelevant in today's virtual world of training, stop doing that, because that's not going to aid you or help you. And if you find you are already doing that, whatever we have discussed today, and it is adding value to you and it is your strength, please continue doing that and capture that in your learning strategy, whatever I've shared the link with. And this will help you as well as me and ISTD to basically take this journey forward when we meet as a continuum and next week itself. So that's why I'm trying to basically request all of you to really capture that. And once you have done that, just say done. And I believe then if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to address that. So just take a minute to capture that in the link. If the link is not clickable, you can copy that and put it in a browser and then enter that. It will not take more than 1 minute or 2 minutes. That's all. So once you have done that, you can just raise your hand or say done. And then I believe we can proceed with your questions, in fact. Thank you, Neha. I can see people completing it now. Ramaji, you are there?
Yes.
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. I'm here.
Very good. You can.
I hope they are giving you the feedback, and I request students to give feedback for today's session for all 4 sessions. And
No, sir. Abhi, I have not shared the feedback link. Feedback link to आप 4th session के बाद share करेंगे ना?
I have already shared in the chat box. If you see,
Okay.
I have already shared it, and I request all who are participating here to please go to that form and fill it and submit it.
So after the 4th session, I believe all they are in this form which Varmaji has shared. This is a feedback form for all the 4 sessions. So you will be attending one more sessions after this at 4 o'clock. So 4 to 5:30. No, just a second. 4 o'clock.
4 to 5:30. Yes.
4 to 5:30. Yes, correct. So I believe after that you can give that feedback, and all the 4 papers are there. In fact, which you have 3 you have already completed by now for today, for today's date, and then you will be completing it the 4th session at 4 to 5:30. So I am looking forward for again a very interactive session next Sunday, Varmaji.
I will let you know. I mean, we are planning for next Sunday, and I asked students if they have any problem, but we'll see in case if there is some change.
Okay,
I'll let you know by tomorrow or something.
That's fine, sir. That's fine. So
I'll confirm to all other sessions.
So if in the meantime, if you have just completed the learning journey, I believe that's important for me to capture whatever I believe the learning in the next session. We'll try to take care of that. And obviously the feedback for today's session is also important, shared by Varmaji. So looking forward for another interactive session, but I'm still here for, thank you Rupeji, thank you Meena, thank you Neha. So I believe I can see some of you have already completed. If you have not done that, just click that and complete it offline also, I believe, while we can move on to the next session, in fact, because I know physically you have to take rest for another 25 minutes. So I have just finished, in fact, exactly on time. So
yeah,
I'm quite sure Varmaji will give a good amount of rest for 25 minutes before you start your next session at 4 o'clock.
They need to have tea also, evening tea, before they start class at 4.
Same here, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye. Please switch over, transfer this.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.